So today, instead of working on our truck, we're working on my mother's car. The worst car ever made in the history of the world. Kia fucking Soul. I think that's why my wife hates these cars, because my parents have one. But we're doing brakes and an oil change. We should be working on that, a real vehicle. But instead, we're working on this, a dumpster with tires. Alright, well, here's the brakes. We gotta take the caliper off, caliper bracket, and them two stupid Phillips screws. 2 bolts hold the caliper on, and 2 bolts hold the brackets, and 2 screws hold the rotor. So we're gonna start with the caliper, then the caliper bracket, then the rotor. The brake shoe box is nicer than the whole car. That's kind of a bizarre thing, but let's get it done. Alright, there's the 2 bolts, there's the caliper. We just toss it up there. Now we're going to take this bracket off. Then we're going to take out them 2 screws. Now we're going to beat the living snot out of that thing. So we got the caliper mount off. We sprayed some blaster around that piece of junk. Now we're going to take out the 2 Phillips screws, which I don't know. But we're going to pull those out and see what happens. Usually a 500,000 good whacks. And that comes off, so we're going to get to whacking. And there you have it. That fine jewel is off. Now we're going to put the new one on and do everything in the reverse. And that's how you do brakes on a dumpster. Alright, new rotor is on. Look at that fancy thing. This is now officially the nicest part of the dumpster. There we go. So now we're going to go over to the bench and fiddle around with this piece of junk. There you go. That's the fancy box this came in. It's pretty snazzy. Got little foam. Don't want those brake pads riding rough. So now we're going to switch it all over to this contraption here, which ain't too bad. I mean, it's just what it is. It's fairly easy once you beat all the crap off of it. Plus you get to use a hammer and a screwdriver. Throw all this junk away. This thing came with brand spanking new ones that go like so. You just kind of snap them bad boys into place. Now we gotta get this one on, which would go right there and right there. Then you gotta fight with putting the brake shoes in, or brake pads. Well, alrighty, so now we get to fight with this mess here to get these fancy things on. This one will go here, so on and so on. So now we're gonna push those on. Takes 2 hands, so we're gonna shut this off. Alright, there's one on. Brake pads for the dumpster. I mean, when you have varmints as your motto, when these pieces of junk first came out, they had hamsters, guinea pigs, gerbils. I don't know what they were. Some kind of little rodent was what the little dumpster was made for. But anyways, here it is. We gotta take these off and lube them up, the caliper slides for the dumpster. This will stop all the rodents you ever need to stop. Actually, it's an old lady's car. These cars are for old people and single moms. Stops at all bingo halls and Planned Parenthood clinics. Food pantries and soup kitchens. Now we gotta change the oil, what's left of it. All I ever hear from my parents, I've tried getting them to buy an American car, a Ford, something good obviously, and they keep buying these Kias. Well, that's the last one. They don't make them no more. And that turd is on a recall mission or something. It uses oil. And according to Kia, in 1,000 miles, 1 quart of oil, that's acceptable. That's a good car if it only uses 1 quart of oil in 1,000 miles. Quality, job number 1. We're going to do an oil change on it. But first, we're going to go put these brakes back on that dumpster. Next is, we got to bolt this turd back on the car. Alright, so our caliper bracket's back on. Now we're going to put the caliper on, put the wheel on. We lubed up our caliper pins. Let's put this thing together. Everything's back together. Let's throw the wheel on. Alright, wheel's back on. These bald tires are back on this car. But it takes 5W20 and she bought 5W30. Yeah, that's the tape or marks or whatever. They sealed it up for her to verify that this engine is junk. So we're under the sole draining its oil. It's black as charcoal. Up here's the filter. That'll be next on the list. And boy is it black. Alright, there's the charcoal that came out of this thing. It's bad. And I don't know why every Jake at Walmart has to use a torque wrench, a 1/2-inch ratchet 6 feet long to put the oil filters on. And you gotta crush them. Alright, time to add the oil. So we got high mileage. It says it's good for 75,000 miles. Motor's with 75,000 miles, I guess. Car's got 90,000. I didn't think that was high mileage in today's world, but it could be for a Kia Soul. Alright, there it is. She's all filled up. Ready for another million miles. Like I said, this is my parents' car. They love this stupid things. I hate it. I hate working on it. I hate riding in it. One, my parents smoke 1,000,000 cigarettes, so it's nasty. It looks like we're gonna go meet Jill and my mother in Medina. So we're gonna give our driving review of the infamous Kia Soul. Upon opening, well, it's a 70-year-old woman and man's car, 70 plus actually, and they both smoke like freight trains, so it stinks inside. I can feel the emphysema getting in my lungs now. Lung cancer, black lung. Let's hop in this thing. See what it's like to actually be in it. Well, I don't like new cars, so it's kind of snazzy for me. The key is the size of a cell phone. Oh, there we go. Wow, look at that fancy thing. It's got a whole big display on the dash there. Please visit kia.com, maybe incorrect readings, blah blah blah. Sitting in it, I can feel it vibrating. Like my butt is vibrating. It doesn't run smooth. I don't know if that's just the tachometer says it's smooth. but you can feel it jiggling under your ass. Let's get it up to speed here and see how it goes. The seatbelt chime sounds kind of weird. And apparently it doesn't shut off like a normal car after a few minutes. It's very noisy inside of this thing. Feels cheap. Everything's hard plastic. I'm not a fan, but Rosie is. And Raj are. My parents are. That dinger would about piss me off, but I guess you should wear your seatbelt. They want you to be safe. So that's where we are with the Super Kia. Okay, so this is my truck. In lieu of driving a Kia Soul, what can I say about a Kia Soul? Nothing. It was very uneventful. It's the only car I've ever driven where you can feel and hear the road noise. It's like driving a go-kart. It's very noisy in that stupid little car. The seat's very uncomfortable. I could feel the COPD and emphysema and lung cancer building up in me as I drove it. My parents love it. It's very anti-American, cheap junk to me. But my mother got her dumpster back. I saved the world today and did my good deed for 2025. That's going to be it for this video because, well, my wife wants to see the Kia footage because she hates those things. The next video we'll finish installing the rear end in the truck, see if it works. Probably won't. I'm guessing the transmission pump is bad. But we're going to check it out and see. We got some transmission books we can read about and figure some things out. And then we got to start getting these cars ready for winter and get on some winter projects.